Welcome back to Let's Create with Alex Blake. I'm your host, Alex Blake, and today is a little bit of a different episode, guys. I am trying out a brand new microphone, so I hope it sounds good. If you guys hear this episode, it sounded at least good enough for me to put it out, okay? But I just got back from Georgia today, and so it's a little different too, because I'm like recording at night. It's currently sunset right now, and I was like, I want to be by the window. Hopefully it'll give me the best light since I'm recording at night and I didn't feel like setting up lights. So it's kind of where we're at today. But yeah, I had like the last 3 days in Georgia. It was super fun. Zach and I got to go to a church meeting there. And then I also had 2 shoots. So yeah, but for today's episode, I want to talk about some of my favorite things right now. And some of this is going to be work, some of it a little bit personal, but I have a little list for us of some of like my favorite things right now. But before I do that, I have to tell you about my shoots in Georgia. So, okay, the first one was like a normal shoot. It was a branding shoot, super fun because it was in a studio and I feel like I haven't had a studio shoot in a while. But the second shoot, guys, okay, first of all, it was a guy senior, okay? I don't normally do guy seniors. Like I get them every so often, but because I don't post a ton of guy seniors, I don't have a ton that book me, right? But this family, I had done the sister like 2 years ago. So when I posted that I was going to Georgia, she's like, yes, I want to be in it. But it was so cool because we did it in this town where I knew there was a record store. And that way we could do like the record store for son because he loves music. And then we could do like around the town and then in a field there and like all the things, you know, a senior session. So when we're in the record store, I'm like, what's your favorite kind of music? He plays the drums and he's telling me like, I love jazz music, which like is not super normal for a high school senior guy to say, right? But he's like, no, I love jazz music. It's like what I play on the drums, blah, 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 blah. We're going around our session. I'm like, that's cool. We're like still getting to know each other and everything. And then he does like the first full outfit. Then the second outfit we change. And then we're walking up the hill to get to like the part of the session the like part of the location that I wanted to do the second part of the session in. And we're walking and his mom goes, wait, I hear some music. And we turn and there is a 1920s jazz bar literally right in front of us. And we're like, what? Because this is this is a place that I don't go very often. I just knew there was a record store there and they never go. It was like an hour for them to get there. So like, this is so uncommon and like so random that we would stumble upon a jazz bar and it'd be like the 1920s and like super cool looking, like super aesthetic. It was like a speakeasy. But his mom's like, oh, I'm going to get us in. And he's like, no, mom, you probably have to be 21. Like, I'm probably not going to be able to do that. And like, I think he maybe was like a little bit embarrassed at first, but it was so awesome because his mom literally went over there and they're like, yeah, sure. Sounds good. So I like book it to my car to grab, like I have like my Fujifilm, you know, camera that had a flash on it because I wasn't expecting to have to use my flash. So I didn't have it charged. Note to self, always charge your flash. Doesn't matter what session you're going to, always have it with you. Anyway, so I grab my Fuji and like run down the stairs into this like speakeasy and it's crazy. And it was literally like a jazz bar. And then get this. His mom goes on the stage, tells the band, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. It's his senior pictures. Bring him on stage. Not only does he go on stage and meet the entire band, but then they're like, wait, why don't you play drums? So he literally ends up playing a song with this random band in a random jazz bar for his senior pictures. And I took photos of it. What? I was like, okay, I know that we'll get to like the episode topic in a second, but I was like, I have to share this on the podcast. We were literally walking up the stairs from the bar and I was like, dude, I have to share this story. Like, you're about to be on my podcast because I need to share this. This is like such a perfect ending to a senior session. It was like the most perfectly him moment. So never have I ever had that moment happen in a senior session until this week. So there's that. I feel like when you're a photographer, eventually you're gonna have like all the stories under your belt. Like you've seen it all, you know? But this is one that I had never seen. So there's that. Anyway, okay, so I wanna share my favorite things with you guys. And the way I'm gonna do this is I have like a couple different categories. So the first category is like work and creative stuff. And the first one that I put on there, something I'm loving right now, is my brand new mic. You guys can see it if you're watching on YouTube, but it's hold on, let me see if I remember it. The DJI Mic Mini. And again, this is my very first time using it. So I'm loving the fact that it isn't like a big bulky mic that I have to set up, and that's why I put it on this list. But we'll see if I actually love the sound quality of it, and I'll let you guys know. I'll tell you guys next episode if I actually love it. But so far, I love the ease of it, and I just like hook it into my camera and call it a day. So I really like that. I'm kind of thinking with it that it would be really fun to like do podcasts more on location versus like in my office like I regularly do. Like how sick would it be if I'm like walking in a park and having a podcast? I don't know if that's a pipe dream and you guys are like, Alex, what? Like that's not a thing. But in my head, it could be a thing and it could be cool. So we'll see what happens. Okay, second thing, I felt the need to like put this on the list too. Something I'm loving right now is a bed in my office. Okay, I know that feels weird, but so I've been watching, this comes later in the video too, but I've been watching Haley Trahan, I think is her last name. And she's a YouTuber. She's married to Ryan Trahan, if you guys follow him or like subscribe to him or whatever. And she like does like book reviews and stuff like that. And I was kind of inspired by her because in her office, she has like a bed that's like kind of like a day bed, but it's like a queen bed, I think. But she styles it like a day bed. And she reads books in there and then like does her videos and stuff in a bed. So my mom was here last month and she was here for like a good minute, probably like 2 weeks. And so instead of like we have like a pull-out couch, instead of having her on that, I have like a twin bed thing that I bought for one of the photo camps. I think it was like the first photo camp. And I set it up in the office for her because she likes to have like more room. I don't really know. She just like, I want room. And I'm like, room to do what, Mom? Like, what activities are you doing? But anyway, she wanted more room. So we set this bed up. And I kind of love it. So I kept it and I've just been like chilling and it's great. I think I'm going to try to like edit in bed in my office though. Cause like I like to edit in bed, especially like if I have a full day of editing, I'm like, I just want to be comfy. I want to be cozy. You guys know me, like comfy cozy is my thing, right? But I feel like it would be nice to have a bed that isn't actually the bed I sleep in to be comfy cozy and to edit. And I don't know if that is like the strangest thing on earth to you guys, but I'm gonna trial it. And I'm kind of loving it. Like, it's just comfy. You know what I mean? Like I have my pillows on it, I have my blanket, it's right by the window. And I feel like it's like nice to have the separation from my bedroom and my office, but having a bed in my office is so cool. So that's something I'm loving right now. Okay, something that I'm loving right now in editing. This is kind of random, but I have been doing this in like pretty much every gallery that I've delivered over the last maybe like 3 months. And I have my own presets and everything. I sell my Coastal Charm presets and I absolutely love them. But I use my presets and then I pull down the whites a ton on the photo. And that's not something that I always did. Like I said, my preset that I created doesn't have the whites fully like pulled down or anything. I think it's just like normal on my preset. Like I think it's at like 0 or something. But I've been pulling it down to like 13, 14, maybe 15 on every photo. And I feel like the skin tone of having your whites pulled down and like how it evens out the photo is really cool. So I've been like loving that lately, especially in like harsher lighting. Bringing down those whites has been like really fun for me. So that's just something so random with editing that I've been like loving. Okay. Favorite podcasts that I've been learning from. So I love podcasts. Obviously, I have a podcast, right? So a ton of my friends have podcasts and I love to learn from them. But somebody who I don't know that I've been learning from is Maya Nicole. And her podcast is called Radical Disruption by Maya Nicole. And I like to learn from her because it's very like bite-sized. Sometimes she does even like 15-minute episodes. So it's less like long form content that I'm just like sitting and listening from, but it's like little bite-sized things that I'm like, ooh, I can implement that into my business, or oh, I can do that into my business too. So I think it's like really a really cool thing to learn from because it's something really simple. And sometimes when it's like a podcast that's like, I don't know, too long and it's not just like conversational. Like I love to chat with you guys and stuff and then give you a little bite-sized thing, but like we're going to chat mostly. Sometimes it feels like a to-do list, you know, when I'm listening to a podcast. I don't know if you guys ever feel that way, but with Maya Nicole, I feel like it's very simple. It's like one little thing that I can implement and it breaks it down for me well. So if you guys listen to her, let me know because I really like her so far. Okay, something that I've been loving in my workflow. This is kind of hard for me. I wrote it because I love my workflow and I love organization. But a little like, I don't know. I did a question box I guess it was a couple days ago, because I've been having a reel do really well, which is kind of exciting. I guess I've been loving reels lately because I've had one do really well lately, which has been fun. But because I now have a couple more followers that I feel like don't know me, I did a little question box to hopefully like get to know some people a little bit. So I don't just have a bunch of people following me who have no idea who I am. You know what I mean? Got to be friends with everyone. Anyway, so I did a question box and a ton of them were about like what apps I use. So I felt like this was a good one to kind of like talk about a couple apps that I've been loving. And the first one is Aftershoot. And I don't know if you guys have heard, I don't know, I feel like a ton of people use Aftershoot now. I've used them for like maybe like a year and a half now, so a good minute, and I still to this day love it. My renewal actually like just came, so I guess probably it's been a year then if my renewal came. No, it has been a year and a half. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. All that to say, I just paid my renewal and I was like, yes, I will give you my money. Like, do I ever want to give money? No, but I was like, this is important enough in my business that like genuinely I use this so much and it speeds up my workflow so much. So what I do is like I put all my photos, all my raws in there, and then it culls through for like the first round of culling for me. And then I go through and cull from there. But it'll take it from like, say I take like 500 photos in a session, it'll take it to like 120 for me. So I would much rather go through those 120 than like all 500. And then if I need to, I can go back and find a photo. But yeah, and then it does the first round of editing for me too, using my Coastal Charm preset, but also using like past catalogs to learn how I tweak my preset in certain lighting situations. So for example, because I've been pulling those whites down for the last couple months, when I have enough catalogs in Lightroom and enough photos to update my profile in Aftershoot, I can upload those catalogs into Aftershoot and it will learn to draw all the whites down from now on because I've been doing it over the last couple months. So that's been like a game changer in my business. Yes, I'm loving it right now, but honestly, I'm loving it like at all times. Another like all-time favorite thing that I'm loving is HoneyBook. Of course, I love HoneyBook because I love doing some automations and stuff like that, but really any CRM system you're gonna be able to do that with. But personally, I love, love, love HoneyBook. Oh, the other one I was going to tell you guys about, I've talked about this a little bit on social media because they actually sponsored Photo Camp, but Pass, my gallery delivery system, has been awesome lately because I'm actually in a new tier with Pass that I haven't been in the past. So this is like super current for me that I'm like loving this, but I'm really excited about the potential that it has for my business. I haven't seen a ton from this yet, but I'm really, really, really hopeful that I'm going to. So the tier is called Platinum. And basically I'm able to offer prints to my clients, which everyone's able to do through Pass. Like if you have a gallery, if you like pay for them to do your gallery delivery, then like you upload the gallery and then there's a store connected to everyone's stuff and you can mark up your print sales. But this is really cool because it's basically like a team of people on the platinum team that connect with my client for me and say, hey, here's a complimentary gallery design. They connect with my client. I feel like I don't have to do the sale part of it. They take that off of my hands, and it's like leveled up my client experience a little bit, because something I was saying at photo camp to some of the campers is like, I feel like my client experience was really, really good on the front end, but then it's like they get their photos and that's it. So this, I feel like, takes it a step deeper too, where it's like my client experience can continue on the back end with a really strong team that shows them like, here's a complimentary design of an album that you can have. And it's, again, it's not in a salesy way or a pitchy way or anything like that. But then the other thing that they've been doing too is like they implement like sales for you. So right now I have a Mother's Day sale going on through my gallery that I didn't have to do anything for. They just implemented it for me because I'm a part of Platinum. So that's been a big thing. And if you're interested in any of those, of course, I have like referral codes and stuff like that. I'll put them in the show notes for you. But that was Aftershoot, HoneyBook, and Pass. I think that was all I said. But yeah, those have been like either lifelong love things for me or like newer things. I've used Pass Gallery for forever, but the Platinum part I'm really excited about, and that's newer. Okay, those are all of my like work or creative things that I've been loving right now, but let's talk about some personal favorites. So, okay, I didn't write down the name of this and it's gonna bother me because I hope I say it right, but I have been loving the snack Poppables. I think that's what it's called, Poppables, or like sweet potato poppers, maybe. Okay, they're salt and vinegar, sweet potato, puffball looking things, but they're kind of like chips, but they're so good, guys. I have been absolutely loving them, but I can't get them too often because I'll eat them, like I'll eat the whole bag. I'll eat them in one sitting. So it's not a great thing for me to be obsessed with, but here I am. And I'm sharing it with you so you can be in the obsession with me. It's great. Okay, next thing that I have been loving, a book favorite right now. I guess I have like two right now. So I've been reading Maegan Miranda is the author, and I've been reading a bunch of her books. It's kind of like crime kind of things, but like girly crime in a way, where there's always a little bit of like a love interest, but there's some mystery to it. So that's been really fun, loving her books. She's kind of the author that I feel like I read when I don't have anything else going on. It's like she has so many books that when I'm not reading something else really good, I'm like, oh, I'll grab a Maegan Miranda book. But I've had a couple of hers like back to back now, and it's really good. But before Maegan Miranda, I read the Gallagher Girl series, and I don't know if you guys have like heard of that or if you know what I'm talking about, but if you do know what I'm talking about, then you probably just like laughed out loud because it's literally a kid's book. It's literally like a kid's like series. But I read this when I probably started it when I was maybe in like 6th or 7th grade. And I totally forgot about this series, okay? It's like a really random series, but I loved it as a kid. It's like a book it's a series about a girl who goes to a secret spy school. And I know that sounds like so childish, and it is because they're kids' books, okay? But I like fell in love with it all over again. And something that I think is really cool about it is like when you read the first book, she's younger, so you kind of like grow up with her, and the writing grows up with her too a little bit, and this plot and like the story. So that's been really cool. I love that about like Harry Potter too, where it's like he's younger when it starts and then you kind of grow up with him even in like the writing style. But Gallagher Girl was similar to that in a way. So yeah, honestly kind of embarrassed that I told you guys, but I read the entire series and I like ate it up. I actually found it when Zach and I went to Michigan to visit Charlie and Cassidy. I found the series in like a thrift bookstore thing, and I was like, oh, Zach was like, we have to get that for you. And I got so excited. So I read the whole thing, and yeah, I read it in maybe 2 months, like the entire series. So loving it. Okay. A playlist that I have been loving lately. I wouldn't say it's like a playlist because honestly, like I don't listen to music like that. Like I don't listen like to a ton of music, but an album that I've been listening to a lot this spring. Wait, it's not an album, it's a band, sorry. A band that I've been listening to a lot this spring is Surfaces. And yeah, I just feel like it's very like vibey. It's very summery and happy. Yeah, that's all I got on that one. Like I said, I'm not like a music girl. Zach's the musician, and I just kind of roll with it. I like go along with whatever he puts on. But I've been in the car lately listening to music, and I've been listening to Surfaces. Okay, something else that I have been loving recently. This is a random one. Plato's Closet. Okay. Some people are like, okay, I used to shop there in high school. Yes, but you can find really good stuff. And I feel like Plato's is cool because you can find there what you have to search for in a thrift store. So if you're like a thrifty girly queen, that's great. But if you are a thrifty girly queen, you know that you have to spend hours in a Goodwill or hours in a whatever your local thrift store is to find really good stuff, because you have to pick through like everything. And I feel like when you go to Plato's, it's like already picked through for you, you know, which is kind of convenient. So I've been doing like a ton of shopping at Plato's, honestly. Like I feel like that has been like, okay, I need to go shopping. Let me look at Plato's first, then I'll go somewhere else after that. And if they don't have it at Plato's, I'll get it somewhere else. But when you find it at Plato's, it's a good day, okay? So anyway, those are kind of like my personal things that I've been loving. So we talked about some work and creative stuff, and then personal favorites, and then just happy little things, like kind of random happy things, is I've been reading the book of John in the Bible. I told you guys a couple weeks ago when we were talking about like how to start reading the Bible that you should start in John if you're super interested in starting reading the Bible and maybe you never have. John is a great one, but I absolutely love it. I think I'm on like John chapter 6 right now, but I have a Bible study of photographers and just like my photographer friends, and we've been going through John too. So it's been fun because I'm kind of like ahead of where our Bible study is. So I kind of like know what's coming when we're talking about it. And that's been really fun to just like kind of have a preview of like, oh, this part in John actually connects to what's happening next. But I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't reading ahead. So reading John has been really fun. I've also been loving like the later days lately of how it's like, you know, sunset is later. That's just been really nice to have extra time in the evenings. I have been doing some like, I went to like a couple workout classes that were in the evenings because I have like one day that's a rest day or rest evening. And that's been really fun doing that. I had a friend come with me last week to it. And yeah, it's just like nice to like get your body moving and feel like you have time after work. You know what I mean? So that's been really fun. Been loving that lately. And then my last one that I have for you guys is being outside. I've just been loving being outside. If you can't tell by me being like, oh, I got a mic so that I can take my camera out and try to do a podcast outside. Again, we'll see if that actually happens, but hang around, you'll find out. But I have been loving being outside. So, okay, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today, but I wanna know what your favorite things are. So I was thinking it would be cute if you guys posted on your story and tagged me. So maybe put like 3 favorite things. Sometimes I feel like it's just like a good practice of like gratitude and encouragement to others when you are grateful for things. So 3 things that are you're like loving right now, that you're grateful for in life right now. Put them on your story, tag me so that I can see it. And yeah, that is all I got. But I love you guys so, so much. Next week, I'm super excited because my friend Maegan Grendell is coming on and we're going to be answering some of your questions. So keep an eye out on my story. And yeah, if you have any questions for me and Maegan, we would love to answer them. They can be silly, goofy, fun, or they can be super serious and work related. Whatever you want us to chat and yap about, we will. Okay, love you guys so, so much. Mwah. Bye, guys.
Come on, let's